Hey everyone, this is Mitch from GamerRN. Ghost Recon Wildlands is probably one of my favorite games of all time. Pretty strong statement. But when this game first came out, I bought it on PC and I dumped hundreds of hours into it. I think I'm currently sitting at around 300 in total now between this platinum and what I already had on PC. To be totally honest, within all that time, I never got tired of this game once. If anything, even when I finished getting the platinum in this game, I still wanted to go back and make a new character and play this game on Ghost mode, which I really might. I remember trying it on PC before and I never got around to being able to completely finish it. So that's definitely one of my goals for this year. But anyways, I think you get the point. I really like this game. I had recently got Breakpoint through PlayStation Plus, and playing that really made me want to go back and play Wildlands again. I saw this game went super cheap now, so I grabbed a physical copy over Christmas break. I threw this game in with the sole purpose of getting the Platinum Trophy. I looked up a guide on PowerPix and I saw that this game was going to take roughly 60 hours to complete, which would be a beast to complete, especially at the beginning of the year, but I really wanted to do it. So I read through the guide to find the best way to potentially take on this game. Of course, before we get started, I decided I wanted to give myself roughly 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks to complete this game, depending on how life goes, of course. Before we get started, a little background on this game. If you've never played it at all, you'll be playing as an American operative where you'll be leading a 4-man team who will be called out to Bolivia to help a CIA agent in dismantling the country's cartel who has grown extremely large and powerful. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any game suggestions, drop them down below, and I'll add them to the list of potential games to play this year. So like I said before, I have a lot of experience with this game, and as we always do, I started this platinum journey off with looking at a guide on PowerPix. I already said that per that guide it would take roughly 60 hours to get the platinum. This guide did recommend finishing the story and continuing on to gathering all the collectibles and securing those extra trophies, and then finishing up with the last few that you need to clean up. Well, I didn't really do any of that. I definitely got punished and probably spent like an extra 15 hours on this game because I didn't follow the guide. But that can also be because of the fact that I fell asleep a few times at night with the game open. But whatever, that's besides the point. I will just say I truly enjoyed this game even though I spent like 80 to 90 hours in it. But jumping into the start of the game, we'll be introduced with some cutscenes that explain a lot of the backstory. Mainly the reason for why you and your team are coming to Bolivia, and what your goal is going to be while you're here. To give some more backstory, essentially your team has been brought into Bolivia to take down the cartel Santa Blanca, since they recently tortured and gunned down an undercover CIA agent, Ricky Sandoval. Shortly after this, you will be dropped into Bolivia and meet up with the rebel leader, who isn't quite excited that 4 Americans are now running around Bolivia, but you'll have your first mission from him, and that's to rescue a rebel leader named Amaru, since he was kidnapped by Santa Blanca and has valuable information on them that the rebels could use. After rescuing Amaru, I earned the first trophy of the game, a good start, and with that, we're locked into Wildlands for the long haul. After finishing the mission, you are now free to do whatever you want in this world. You can go on and do all the story missions, or you can go look for your favorite weapons and earn them at the very start and get the best attachments. That's one of the big things for me about this game that really makes me love and enjoy it, is you can play it however you want to play it. You're not forced to do certain things or forced to do things in a chronological order. You can do whatever you want. Now, like I said earlier, the game's guide did recommend focusing on all the story missions and then going back for all the collectibles. And like I said, I didn't really do any of that. So I wanted to focus on each province and grab all the collectibles, weapons, and attachments, and Kingslayer files, since all of these things except the attachments had trophies tied to them. I was going to go for the attachments anyways, because why not? I figured I might as well, it won't take me that much extra time, but I ended up spending way more time doing that than I thought. And I wish I could go back and tell myself not to do that because it cost me a lot of time. No matter how fast I felt like I was grabbing items, I wasted so much time trying to sneak or to fight my way through bases for attachments I didn't need. But anyways, I collected my first Kingslayer file, which ended up being a legend, and the second trophy popped, Legend Hunter. I also decided I wanted to unlock all the rebel skills, so throughout the game, I could randomly perform the events needed to upgrade those skills. Once I unlocked the first rebel skill though, I was awarded with the Rebel Sympathizer trophy. After collecting all the Kingslayer files, attachments, skill points, weapons, and unlocking all the rebel skills I had access to, I defeated the first boss of the game, which was Yuri and Polito, earning myself Beat the Boss trophy. For some more background, I started this game on January 2nd, which was a Thursday, and I'm normally off, so I wanted to try to put in some more time into this game and earn as many trophies as I could today and tomorrow, which would have been a Friday, since I normally work every Saturday and Sunday, and I don't really play too much on the days that I work. So while progressing into the second province, I decided to try to complete as many of the easy and simple trophies that I could, earning myself the Eye in the Sky trophy for marking 100 enemies with a drone, Death in the Dark for making a close combat kill at nighttime, with a pistol for taking out a sniper with a pistol. Honestly, I thought that one was going to be a lot more difficult, but you can literally just walk up behind them and take them out with the pistol. After that though, I didn't really achieve much else the rest of that day or even the next one. Now on day 3, I didn't get to play until after work, and I knew I wanted to try a few more easy trophies that I had been working towards. So to start off the night, after putting my daughter to bed, I managed to collect 2 more trophies this night. The first one being Eagle-Eyed for marking 100 enemies with the binoculars. And this one felt like it took forever because the binoculars aren't really that great of an item, especially compared to the drone. The second trophy being Fearless for skydiving 10 times, which only requires you to bail out of a helicopter 10 times and parachute. Shortly after that trophy, I ended up going to bed, but on day 4, I picked up right where I left off after I got off of work since I don't have to work the following day. And I kept rolling down the list collecting trophies. The first one I got was Real Rebel, which I got for unlocking all the Rebel skills. The second trophy being Spice of Life for playing one of each side mission. Even with me staying up a little bit later, those were the only 2 trophies I managed to get. If I remember, I'm pretty sure I fell asleep pretty early though, but that's okay because my daughter woke me up at like 4 in the morning because she couldn't sleep. Day 5, it was a Monday and my first day off of the week, and I normally try to get all my chores and errands done this day. I normally won't play on Mondays until after my daughter is in bed, and because my wife works nights, I normally will just stay up with my dog until I fall asleep. I did actually convince one of my friends from work to download and play Wildlands with me, which worked out because the game has 2 trophies that require co-op. Other than this one person, I don't really have too many other friends, and of course being an adult now with my own family, it's hard for us to match up our time schedules to actually link up and play games together. So normally, I'll just jump on my wife's PlayStation and help myself out to get co-op trophies. But since I actually had a friend that was able to get on and help me out, it would be a lot easier. So on day 5, I collected Finishing the Job for finishing off an enemy in close combat that was hurt by another player. I also collected Death from Above for killing an enemy with a drone. Day 6, my friend actually played with me again, and we decided to stay up a bit longer, and I managed to collect a few more trophies. The first trophy I got was Teamwork for completing 3 missions with another player. While working on getting collectibles in one of the provinces, I managed to finally hit the 10th convoy for the trophy Highway Bandit. My friend was also able to find me a spot where I could hit a 400-meter shot for the trophy Long Shot. The difficulty in that trophy is just if you miss the first shot, the target is going to run, and you can always plan on them running closer to you to ruin your 400 meters. I finished up 3 more trophies that day, collecting the Deadly Curious trophy for interrogating 20 targets, Blackout Boomer for destroying a generator with C4, and Bad Reputation for finishing the Influence operation and taking down El Cardinal. Over the next 2 days, I had to work, and I didn't get much game time in, but when I finally managed to play, I was focused on completing different provinces and 100%ing them before completely moving on to the next one. Let's fast forward to day 9, where I actually managed to get my next trophy, Road Warrior, for driving 100 kilometers in any vehicle. And if you're wondering why I didn't have this one earlier, well, I chose to fly everywhere because I wanted to waste as little time as possible, and I'm pretty sure that flying doesn't count towards driving in any vehicle, so I finally realized it and switched over to driving everywhere for a little while, and the trophy finally popped. I also managed to collect 50% of the game's documents for the Serious Collector trophy. Over the next 6 days, I worked on completing all the provinces, completing all the story missions, collecting all the weapons, skill points, bonus medals, finding all the Kingslayer files. I did finally manage to max out my character at level 30 and get the trophy, The Champion. After a ton of attempts, I managed to get lucky and took a helicopter out with a mortar strike for the trophy Pull. That one was a pain in the ass to get, but I finally managed to do it without having to cheese it, but it took a lot of luck. When I was approaching the end of my collectibles, I got Light Machine Gun Fanatic and Handgun Fanatic first. I next managed to finish off the security operation and took down the security head for the trophy Broken Locks. Next, I moved on to the production operation and took them down for the trophy Shutdown. I lastly took down the smuggling operation within Santa Blanca and got the trophy Smuggler's Blues. After that, I finally took down Sueño and got the trophy The End. But that definitely wasn't the end of our platinum journey, I assure you that. No, we had a massive grind in front of us, and I honestly didn't realize how big it was going to be. I focused on getting the last weapons I needed in the game and collected Sniper Rifle Fanatic, Shotgun Fanatic, Assault Rifle Fanatic, and lastly, Submachine Gun Fanatic. While completing those, I managed to collect all the bonus medals. I next focused on finishing my Kingslayer files and got Legendary Hunter first. While finishing them, I managed to finish off the remaining missions for Ricky Sandoval and got the trophy Mission Master. But this also meant I found the remaining Kingslayer files I needed and finished the whole story trophy. At this point, I only had 6 trophies left to achieve the platinum. So I started off by getting all the rebel skills maxed out, since I was already nearly there, and got the No Better Rebel trophy. I then worked on getting 2 trophies for killing 7+ enemies with a single C4 blast and a single mine. Both of these were super difficult, and I had to look up guides on how to complete them and the best places to complete them. Now, getting the C4 was a lot easier than getting the mine, since you had to set off the mine by yourself. But I managed to get the Cluster Bomb trophy for killing 7 enemies with a single C4 blast first, and then followed that up with No Better Mousetrap for killing 7 enemies with a single mine. Now, the last thing I had to do in this game was upgrade all my skills and unlock all the drone skills, and I would be done. But I did not realize how much of a grind this was going to be. I focused on getting my drone skill tree done first, since I had already focused all the resources that I got from finishing all the operations. Once I finished the drone tree, I got 2 trophies, Top Drone and Ultimate Skill. Ultimate Skill just required you to max out a single skill tree, and Top Drone just required you to max out the drone skill tree. But finishing those, that meant the final trophy I needed was to unlock every skill in the game. And this was one hell of a trophy. I mean, it took me like a day and a half of grinding to unlock it. I was chasing down every convoy in the game trying to hunt for resources. And it took me forever. And it felt like an entire eternity. And honestly, at one point I was debating just quitting and taking a little break and coming back after like a day or two and starting something new. But I told myself I couldn't do that and I needed to finish this game as soon as possible. So I finally managed to unlock the final skill for the Only for the Best trophy. And with that, I finally unlocked the platinum and got the Master of the Wildlands trophy. We were finally done. So how was the Wildlands platinum? Was this game everything I thought it would end up being? Honestly, the platinum itself really isn't that bad. Does it take a lot of time? Of course it does. Did it feel more like a collectathon? Yeah, sure. There was only a few trophies that required me to do anything other than collecting stuff in the game. But again, that doesn't make the trophy difficult. It just makes it long. I was going a little crazy towards the end, just hunting down those convoys over and over again. But I had decided that I was not going to quit and prolong the platinum any longer, so I stuck it out. Overall, the game itself is great and probably way more fun than I remember. But would I recommend going for this platinum? Probably not. Unless you're a completionist or okay with going out of your way for everything, it may not be the most simple one and it may not be the one for you. But now that I'm done with it, I definitely don't regret it. But anyways, thanks for sticking it out if you made it this far. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button and consider subscribing. If you have any game recommendations, feel free to leave them down below for me. I'm currently working on achieving platinum trophies in the entire Sly Cooper series, Far Cry 6, and I'm working on 100%ing Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. So be on the lookout for those videos. Thanks for watching.